some quiet, Lewis? Quiet? Shut up.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Nerditude Movie Podcast. I'm here with Matt and Alex, and we're matching t-shirts.
On the right track.
We are, this month is Matt's ADHD themed. So we have two horror movies. We have a AAA horror movie by the name of The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It.
Trace.
And we have a indie horror flick by the name of Mr. Nanny.
My hair!
Oh, fuck.
My beautiful hair!
Buster, man. Yeah.
That guy looks like my mom.
With the metal or with the fro?
No, his face is my mom's face.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, I got you.
And it kind of ruined the film for me.
Oh my god.
The scene when he kicks open the roof and he has the gun and the afro, I was like, that's my mom.
I'm gonna send this clip to her and see what she says. I'll be like, Zulma! And she loves to be called Zulma, by the way.
That's her.
Except,
I picture.
Except when she kicks open the door, she's like, I got my chancla.
I picture that man holding my child
chancla.
up in the air, being like, "Yes, mi mijo."
Fucking Bud Light can.
Don't make me take off my chancla.
Oh man.
Which would mean my mom is also the taxi driver in.
Yeah, she was also in the Beavis and Butthead Christmas music video too.
The Scrooge in Scrooge.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of shit actually.
My dad could have fallen in love with all the women in the world, and he fell in love with that man in the taxi cab.
Well, you wouldn't have been here had he not. And by the way, I was at that bowling alley where he met your mom.
They met at a bowling alley? That's so cute.
Yes, because my brother was the DJ for the bowling alley, and your mom was there getting down.
Did your dad have a big afro?
Getting down.
Or did your brother have a big afro?
No, my brother actually looked like Prince.
I'm sure
he had the curly hairs in the front with the slick back sides and the long hair in the back.
I'm sure that no narcotics were done that night at all.
No.
And it was just a safe.
Oh, you bowlers! We're gonna do the hustle.
No, everybody was doing Coca-Cola drinks only.
Yeah,
they were chocolate wasted.
They were chocolate wasted. So moving on from that horror show, so we're starting with The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. This movie came out
today,
8 days ago.
8 days ago from now.
If you're in the future, I'm referring to June 4th, 2021.
John Connor, when did the movie come out? The movie never happened.
Runtime of 112 minutes.
Back in time.
If you are listening to this in the future, this movie... What?
How long was it?
112 minutes.
Okay.
If you are listening to this movie in the future, this movie's coming out still during a global pandemic, and actually did really well in the box office. Budget was $39 million. Box office made $67.6 million. That's pretty fucking crazy. This was also directed by Michael Chavez, who did The Curse of La Llorona. It was produced by James Wan, who's known for the first two movies.
And the Saw franchise.
James Wan, he's a really good director. Like, he does a bunch of different shit, but even the stuff I don't like, he does it well.
He's done some good shit. Upgrade's a weird movie, but I like it.
Yeah, and
no, I don't think I've heard of Upgrade.
It is. It's a cool concept for a flick. It's nice and dark. It's very sci-fi-y. I think you dig it. I'm actually
okay.
It's on sale on Vudu, and I was already thinking about buying it. So now I just got the thing pushed over the edge.
Yeah, and this movie, obviously, it's part of the Conjuring shared universe because we live in an era where everything needs a universe.
Really?
What's up?
He's got some projects on the way. Aquaman 2.
Yep.
The Tommyknockers. Isn't that a Stephen King? And then Knight Rider. What?
Here's the thing: if you haven't seen Aquaman, whatever you think about the universe, it's got some really awesome action scenes in it.
Yeah.
Aquaman
Oh,
is
no,
the
I
most.
think it's the best DC movie. I really
It's
do.
it's the most comic book movie out of all the comic book
Here's the
movies.
thing.
I've liked Aquaman, but I just haven't had a chance to finish it because with me and my family and stuff, and like every time I try to finish it, most of the time I'm watching it when I'm trying to go to sleep at night. So, but
See, I'm the type of person that I liked the G.I. Joe movies when they came out. I thought the action was fun. I thought
I
they
did
were just
like
kind
them
of
too.
dumb fun
I did like
movies.
them too.
So, like, I can appreciate just dumb fun action, and I think James Wan is really good at, like, he did Fast and the Furious 4 or 6, maybe? He did one of them. But I think it was 6 he did. So it's like, he's
Oh
no,
shit, he did Swamp Thing, the TV show.
he's no stranger to action. Like, his fight scenes in Upgrade are actually really, really cool and awesomely done. So yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see him branch out away from the horror movie universes like he kind of has been, and like I love the Death Sentence is one of my favorite movies. So it's like he's
So
done
he did Furious 7.
He did a
okay.
really shitty cult horror movie that I like called Dead Silence.
Oh yeah, I just saw that.
It's a good movie.
Oh, that was him.
And
Yeah.
then Death Sentence right after that.
That was Dead Silence was basically the Goosebumps story, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's got one of the Wahlbergs in it.
Dude,
And then
Donnie
throwback-
Wahlberg is Donnie.
Throwback to our one of our earlier shows, Death Sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that movie, dude. The movie's still awesome. Kevin Bacon, the scene where he shaves his head. I remember
Kevin Bacon.
really appreciating the fact that like he clearly shaves his head in real life, and then in the scenes later on where he fucked up, it stays fucked up, and like they didn't fix it. So that means like for whatever time it took to shoot the head shave scene to the end of the movie, he walked around with fucked up hair. Like think about it.
Yeah.
Like, he had to walk around with fucked up hair for like 3 weeks or 2 weeks of shooting the end scenes. He walked
Yeah,
around.
but the ladies didn't care because he's Kevin Bacon. He's got the bacon.
He's got that back on. Back on something.
So he's actually the producer for an Aquaman TV show too.
Starring
miniseries.
Bruce
I
Valanche.
don't know if we need that, but
We don't.
but yeah,
It's
so
a miniseries, so it's not gonna be that long.
it should be so many that it just doesn't come out. That's
right
6 episodes.
It's basically as small as it is after he gets out of the cold ocean. It wasn't
so-
announced that WandaVision is only a limited series. They're not doing a season 2 or anything.
Right? Yeah.
I've not even watched it. I'm
Either
so
way.
like
Watch it. It's not horrible. It's not horrible.
no, it's that's not my point. It's not that it's not horrible. It's
Oh, you're
just
just
like
drained. You're just drained from Marvel.
yeah, I could.
Oh,
just,
that's
it's
fine
like,
too.
eh.
But this is a breath of fresh air because it's not that whole thing that you're used to
Yeah,
seeing
but it is.
for Marvel.
Oh, no,
but the problem is it ties
Yeah,
directly
it
into
is-
the universe.
yeah.
So it's like, So the problem is you can't watch the next fucking Marvel movie without watching that shit.
Yeah,
and
okay,
unless
yeah.
like you're missing pieces. So it's like, if I don't want to, like, here's the thing: is Jen has interest in it, so we will eventually watch it. But I am like
Then-
Lewis. I am burnt. Like I don't have emotional. There's so much
To
shit
be
going
honest-
on. I don't have emotional energy to invest in superheroes.
If you really need to include every fucking universe or whatever every show, watch the last episode because it doesn't really tie into the last. But the WandaVision in itself is pretty cool. I liked it.
For me, the being burnt out is when I do jump back into watching superhero shit. I think of it as like I'm gonna have all this cool shit to watch.
Yeah.
But right now, it's like I've watched so much superhero shit. It's like reading a book. Like I'll read a shit ton of horror books, and I'll be like, I'm not gonna read a horror book for a year, and I'm just gonna read other shit. That's how I feel about comic book stuff right now. It's
I am looking forward to why though. I am looking forward to Why the Last Man.
Speaking of superhero
Great
movies,
comic.
that movie Arch
I am
Enemy.
looking forward to. I love the comic.
Arch Enemy with Joe Manganiello.
Uh-huh.
It's on sale on Voodoo. I was thinking about picking it up.
I
Like for like future.
remember
review.
I remember I showed that trailer and I liked it. I liked it a lot.
So I'm thinking maybe we can review that in the future.
Nice.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, probably gonna pick that one up. I gotta think about Upgrade because the problem with Upgrade is it's got kind of a depressing ending, and like you watch it and it's like, fuck. One of those endings where you're just like, I don't know.
Well, now I want to watch it, but I know I'm gonna be bummed out.
You've never seen it?
No.
Right.
Every time I see the trailer, I'm like, hey, that's like Walmart knockoff brand Tom Hardy.
Yeah, a little bit, but the movie is pretty straight crazy because like the whole concept is he gets this artificial AI implanted into his brain. Cause I think he gets into like an accident or something, and he
Wait a minute, is he in Prometheus? Is he the same dude?
I don't think so. I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't think so though. I don't remember. I don't know
I'm gonna look this up now.
Which character are we asking about?
The main star of Upgrade, if he's in Prometheus, if he's the
Logan Marshall, or is he Gray?
I don't know his fucking name, but Logan
I've never seen it. So
it is him. It is him. It is.
So you know, Upgrade.
Yep,
Upgrade actually isn't directed by James Wan. It's directed by Leigh Whannell.
This guy.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
This guy probably gets spotted on the street so many fucking times. And it's like, Tom Hardy? No, no, you're not Tom Hardy. You're the less attractive Tom Hardy.
Now, Upgrade.
I still have yet to watch Devil.
Oh, the elevator movie.
Yeah, I don't know if
Devil
it's worth it, but
it's a good film.
Is it?
It's okay.
It's really good.
It's okay. I don't know. You think the movie's really good?
I do. I like the. I like Shamalama Ding Dong's style of film. Like the way his films are.
I didn't expect that one. I'm sorry. That shouldn't have made me laugh like it.
I don't know his style.
Shamalama Ding Dong.
We were just talking about style of films last episode, but the way he shoots his films, I really like.
What?
And you can see it
Which way?
in the show The Servant.
Is it good?
Like, yeah, it's like a fucking Twilight Zone fever dream. It's a weird show. It's a weird show.
I'm just checking it out.
Off topic. I actually watched Spider-Man, the new one that you have.
Oh man.
Oh, what is it?
Far From Home.
Not Homecoming, but the other one, Far From Home.
Yeah.
I actually watched it the other day.
With Jake Gyllenhaal?
Huh?
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yes, with him.
Uh-huh.
And I was kind of shocked because I did not pay no attention to anybody's fucking spoilers or anything. And when I watched it, I was like, holy shit.
Wasn't bad.
That threw me off for a second.
The Spider-Man movies are actually probably the best of the
lot.
Marvel universe that they like that right now. Like Ant-Man was
Sony.
okay. I just didn't. It's like in my opinion, Thor 3 was like the best Marvel movie to come out. Like I'm looking forward to Thor 4, but I could not give a shit really about the universe. I just want to see good like fun movies again. Remember when Avengers 1 came out and you weren't worried about like who are they gonna kill off in my beloved universe? You were just like, hey, let's go see a fun fucking action movie. And now it's just like, they've killed Tony. Anything can happen. You saw Old Man Cap at the end of the last one. And it's like, all right, okay.
That's why I'm the minority in that, like, when people are like, we need a sequel to the Snyder Cut. I'm like, no, that's it. Let it be that one thing that I watched. And it's done. And I don't have to be like, but it needs to connect to A, B, C, D. It's like, no.
You know what it is?
A good movie. That's it.
The same people that think that are the same people that hold their phone ups and look at their screen and record at concerts.
I take pictures. I don't do videos because I want to just have a snap of what I want to see, and that's it.
The people out there that are shouting sequel and universe and that are the same people that are holding up the goddamn iPhone, staring at the screen recording, and not the live concert. Same people.
And actually, I have been guilty of actually recording. But if you watch my recordings, it's of somebody's back of their head, and I'm going like this.
Yeah, I've done that.
So I had a conversation with this is a tangent, but I have a conversation with my wife about that because we took my son to the zoo a week or so ago, and she was asking me, she's like, how come you're not taking pictures of the animals? And I said, when is the last time, answer this question, when's the last time you went somewhere and took pictures at a park or something, and you went back in your camera feed and was like, I want to find that picture? No, you take it, your brain like whatever, and then no, like, why do people do that? Why do you take a picture of a gazelle at a zoo? You fucking know what one looks like. Are you gonna go back to that picture?
I take a picture of my wife and my kids looking at the animal, and have all of them in the
No,
picture.
that's okay. That's one thing.
I
But
do
there's
that.
people
I
who
do
are
that.
like, "Oh my
I
god, the
do
bear!
that.
Let me take pictures of the polar bear." And it's like, who are you going to show that to?
Oh, the polar bear's not out. I can't get a good photo.
I'm going to be honest. I have taken pictures of polar bears because of you, and I've sent them to you.
Naked?
Because no, polar bear.
I know it was a. Yeah.
No, because Anthony had mentioned to me one time that his favorite animal is a polar bear, or he said it in some kind of like really big rant.
No,
at one
he
point.
said gay bear. He loves the bears.
No, he just said his favorite animal is a polar bear. But I sent it to him, and that was the only reason why I took a picture of it.
I don't take a lot of pictures for like events we go to too, because I like to live. I like to live in the moment. And instead of a picture, I'd like to be like, hey, remember that time that we did this thing and I wasn't fucking on my phone the whole time? Anyways, that's my frustration.
My wife and I get into so many arguments about that.
So I know this isn't an exact comparison, and I don't mean to devalue how you feel about your children. But I equate it, because I don't have kids yet, and I do love my dog dearly. I equate it to my dog, and the only times I do take photos is like, I happen to look over and he looks cute. Like, okay, boom, but yeah, I don't take many photos.
No, that's not what he's saying though. He's talking about like when you're actually someplace doing something. Like if you were out playing fetch with your dogs, or if you were at a dog park or at a beach, so would you be taking pictures of yourself throwing the fucking stick?
No.
Well, that's what he's saying.
I taught Jen a lesson as to why you don't ask me to take photos. One time when the Museum of Science and Industry, I think, had their Pixar exhibit, they had all these models of like the different characters, and she's like, "Go behind him and take a photo," and I didn't want to. So for the first one, I did this face. And then every fucking photo she made me take that day was this face. I'll find the photo. She posted it on Facebook recently, but it's literally me standing behind Dory just... I'll find it. I even had my boot because of course I have surgery to where I almost lose my toe. And a month later, it's like, Museum of Science and Industry is doing a Pixar exhibit. So of course I still have my boot on.
That's what my 9-year-old does. My 9-year-old does that to my wife every time we go take pictures. She goes, that's how she smiles. And I'm like, stop doing that shit. You have a good smile.
I intentionally gave like it's like a psychopath face. And that's how I told her basically, you don't really want to ask me to take photos everywhere we are.
Alright, so anyways, The Conjuring, the devil made me do it. So if you haven't watched any of the Conjuring movies, this movie is about two scam artists who go door to door
selling typewriters
and solve cases that didn't need to be solved about fake ghosts. No, it's about Ed and Lorraine Warren.
That's the real life story of them. This is what they made as a portrayal of them.
Ed Warren is played by horror daddy Patrick Wilson.
He really has kind of slid himself into that, like that's kind of his niche, huh? Old, like middle-aged horror movie icon.
I confused him with Insidious and fucking Conjuring a couple times during this movie. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I confused him.
My favorite part of Insidious
also James Wan
is when they
two of the movies are made at the same time.
They walk past the little nook area for the coats and everything. And if you pay attention to the background, the ghost of the kid is there.
Oh,
that's like my favorite scene in that movie.
Oh, in Insidious?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the cool thing about Patrick Wilson is you don't get a lot of shout-outs. There's not a lot of Scream Kings in movies.
No.
I mean, you had Bruce Campbell, which was in a couple Evil Dead movies.
Plus other
that's really the only
type,
other,
shit like that.
Yeah, Bubba Hotep, shit like that. That's the only other name I could think of. So to see like an actor who has been prominent in these top horror movies.
Do you
Hard Candy?
Can you throw David Arquette into that mix at all or no?
Well, that's.
I mean, you technically can, yeah. Eight-Legged Freaks. You got the Scream movies.
Ready to Rumble was pretty scary.
Yeah.
But it's funny because you think of Scream Queen, and one of the first names that comes to mind is probiotic lady from the Halloween franchise.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
If you think of Scream King, the first name you think of is Patrick Wilson. So I think that's awesome. Also, Insidious, the new one, he's directing it, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
Mr. One.
Yeah, so this
He's gonna
movie
reprise
is
his role in Aquaman too, by the way.
yeah. This movie is based off the case, the
Bro.
actual case, The Devil Made Me Do It, which Arnie, whatever the fuck his name is,
Hammer.
stabbed and killed the
Bruno.
landlord of the place him and his girlfriend were staying in. He tried to argue that it was the devil. He ended up going to prison for 4 years. I think he actually served more than that.
5 or 7, I think.
Yeah, I said 5.
And this movie takes that bullshit case and inflates it into what I would say is a decent horror movie. I don't know.
His first encounter after being possessed.
Possessed.
Yeah, because it's poser, possessed. No, I say it like that. I say it like that because possessed.
Possessed.
Nah, yeah, but his first encounter with that first vision was pretty cool. I liked it. It wasn't scary. It wasn't scary, but I fucking liked it. I liked it.
The movie does have a really good visual flair to it. The scenes where they show the demonic ritual she does, where it's kind of got that like zoomed in, blurry, like you're hallucinating type look to it. There was some cool trickery how the villain was able to basically kind of like you were seeing almost through her eyes or what she wanted you to see.
Yeah.
There was some pretty trippy shit they did in that, and I do appreciate. The movie doesn't feel cheap at all. It actually feels really well done. It's just
wasn't scary.
It's not scary. It's paint by numbers. I thought that they used the fat dead guy running after you thing too much. They used the omniscient thing in the background in the shadows that quickly zooms up on you too much. They relied on that shit way too much. Some of the cool stuff was the waterbed scene. I thought that was kind of neat. I thought that any time that towards the end when the windows in the prison infirmary blow out and you have the priest, that was really cool how they made the shot, and there was a lot of symmetry involved in a lot of those scenes.
They actually made it real because the priest actually had scars on his face, not or whatever injuries on his face. So it wasn't Arnie seeing it.
I mean,
it was an actual thing for everybody.
You also have
I like that.
You also have Ed have a heart attack, which they say was due to the ghosts instead of cheeseburgers and greasy spoons. But I don't know.
That actually made a lot of sense after the scene that happened where he was running. It made sense why he fucking looked like a fucking lethargic person. Like if I was running, he actually looked like me running, but he's nowhere near the shape I am in. If that was me running, I would have looked like him, but he should have been running a lot better than I.
Patrick Wilson really is an attractive bloke.
He is a handsome lad.
Yeah.
And he does a good job. Like, the one thing I will say is in all of the movies, him and Vera or whatever the fuck her name is, they do a really good job, and they have a great chemistry. Of like being this really like endearing, and they're true partners. And the funny thing is, Ed and Lorraine Warren were fucking scam artists, but they were true part. Like they
Why do you
loved
keep saying
each
that?
other.
What do you mean?
Where's
your proof?
Oh God, don't
Where's your proof?
Started.
Give me one example of a legitimate scam.
In real life, they were like they had the same chemistry that Patrick Wilson and Vera Parmesan have in this movie. They were a clique.
Hey man, her name is Mrs. Bates, you son of a bitch.
Did he finish her sandwiches? Is that what you're trying to say?
What?
Well, hey man, listen.
It's a fucking Frozen reference.
You don't understand, okay? They literally met. They met at the movie theater. Then they got some ice creams, okay?
And they went under the gazebo.
Since then, it was love because they were waiting, and he bent her over under the gazebo, and
when the rain stopped, they were both not crying.
It was like like the scene in Titanic, but no fog. She's just on the ground, like, what happened? And he's like, that's right. You got hit by Ed.
I will say that this is a good-looking horror movie. In certain scenes, it's not. Like one of the scenes I'll call out is the scene in the trailers where he yells Lorraine and she's about to fall off the cliff.
Right.
It looks it looks like someone was like, I know how to use CGI, but also I don't. Like, it just seemed like wonky.
Almost
It
like
looked
the
wonky.
green screen background
It's
image wasn't right.
Yeah.
it's also not a part. I don't know. I didn't feel like that was actually a part of the scene. You know how they always give away too much in trailers. I don't even think that actually happened the way they showed in the movie. You know what
See,
I
but
mean?
Yeah,
here's
there's a
another
lead up to it.
scene. Here's another
Yeah,
scene, and
but it didn't happen the
if
same
you're
way.
watching the video, Alex has a still of it. The possession scene, which goes from looking tight and kind of good, and it's fast shot, and
Cartoony a little bit.
then it also looks cartoony, where he looks fucking claymation, and it kind of
It happens a
I mean,
couple times too.
yeah, if you're paying attention, it kind of like morphs in and out. Like it goes from looking good and crisp to not. And there are quite a few scenes in this movie where it's like that. I don't think that knocks down the movie, but I also think that I know going into this that this is not my type of horror movie. Like Matt said, this is a paint by numbers horror movie. This is a set up the next scare, the next scare, the next
it
scare.
is basically a model of a movie. It is beautiful on the
Yeah.
Yeah.
outside, vapid and soulless on the inside.
This
I w-
this scene right here, the reason why I picked it was, for my background is it started to look like this kid actually could do this because there are people that could do this. There's those contortionists that can actually do this kind of shit, and they also started at a very young age. So when I first saw it, I was like, oh shit, that this kid can do that, and then I was like, oh no, that's actually really CGI.
I will say both
But when it first happened,
that scene and at the end when the dude in the infirmary starts doing it, I do
Arnie,
appreciate
yeah.
how you hear like the bones crunching as the body,
Yeah,
that I did appreciate the sound
like that.
effects with that, where as he's contorting, you're hearing the pops and the joints and the bones breaking and crunching together. I thought that was neat.
Yeah, my only issue with movies like this is the majority of people that watch these movies, they like this style of horror movie, which is fine, but they don't branch out into the non-AAA horror movies where you get stuff like uh, Satan's Little Helper, or like anthologies
hmm
like Trick or Treat or VHS, or
Here,
like
here's
really good.
here's my thoughts on that. I know people that will love this fucking movie, but hate Satan's Little Helper because there's all the blood and gore. But this is more, oh my god, and that's what Matt was talking earlier about. What did you mean by Filipino and Hispanic lifestyle? They're brought up to fucking fear this kind of shit because
I
their
just want to point out,
families
I'm pretty sure
their
it's just an
families.
anti-white thing because I'm the only like white guy on the
No,
show. I'm just saying.
well, I from my dad's side, I've never heard anybody say any kind of ghost
Well,
stories
Bloody
about
Mary.
you should be scared of this, you should be scared of that.
Don't worry, the Slender Man.
No,
That's
it's
the
more
white
like I'm
people
gonna
shit.
whoop you with this belt. It's,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that,
yeah.
that's
No, what I was
Right.
getting at is people that just like these blockbuster horror films. It sucks if you don't branch out because the horror community, the horror like subgenres are so fucking
big.
crazy
Yeah.
that if you're just like, if
The cookie cutter
these
shit is that, and Lewis, if I may, I think that's why you and I also have a problem with like the Avengers movies, is because they now are
yes,
the cookie cutter action movies that
they
there's.
have to check those
Yep.
boxes.
Oh, we have to have hero almost die. We have to have explosion from cars. We have to have superhero drop in. We have to have a surprise superhero in every movie that you didn't expect to be in it, but it got leaked online, so everybody knew. Yeah.
Yeah, and but I'm okay with people liking these blockbuster horror movies, but it bums me out that they don't like broaden their choices because it's just a toe in, and you can find the weirdest, coolest shit. But there's a reason that these horror movies, these blockbuster horror movies, sell so much, and it's because there's a giant community for the new big horror movie that's like jump scare, jump
Yeah.
scare, jump scare. So it's not my type of movie, but the movie is good. It's just some of the parts look kind of wonky.
So, do you think if you watched it with your wife, would she have jumped?
Yeah, but she
In
like I said, it's like I'm a horror snob, so
yeah.
I'm not a snob. I actually.
See,
Lewis and I
if
disagree in some realms because he likes some movies where I'm like, okay.
yeah, I like some weird shit.
yeah. So if I were to watch this with my wife, I think she would be really scared of it because then she would ask me if it's real because she's used to we've talked about this aswang
But
She's used to that.
that's another
So
thing that I
that's
like
where
about
she
the
would.
horror genres. Horror is subjective, so I don't believe in demonic possession, but someone who does might, find
Dude,
this movie very
I
freaky.
text you guys this too, man. These movies do always throw me off because it's like, whether you believe or not, right?
Yeah.
There's gotta be a what if in anything, and there's always got to be a little wiggle room for reality. So every time you watch this and you hear the recordings at the end of the movie, which were the creepiest part of the
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
you
Like
read
that's
up,
what I said. Yeah.
you read up on it, and you have people that are devout to saying this is real. You do have the shadow shit that the Vatican was involved with. There is weird shit that goes along with this whole religion thing. So there always is that, like, as much as I want to say, nah, dude, it's all fucking phony bony. And I'm not saying Ed and Lorraine were true to what they're saying or what they did, but the concept of demonic possession or exorcism, whatever you want to call it, I can't say it's not real because I don't know. But the problem is people don't want to accept it one way or the other, because if you do say demonic possession is real, then you are also saying you do believe in God and the devil and heaven and hell and all that shit. So there is kind of an absolutist thing that you have to agree to, but it's just the idea of, like, you watch these movies and it's like, what if it is real? Like,
Right.
what if this shit does happen? And what if we're allowed to be ignorant because we don't have to see it? But, like, even movies like End of Days, I'm always kind of like, the scary thing is that, because you like, whether we want to admit it or not, the occult shit is real. You have occultists, you have hardcore Satanists, you have all these things. So it's like, what if some of this shit's fucking real, man? I don't know. It's just a weird feeling to walk away from a movie, because on one hand it's like, phony baloney, and then on the other hand it's like, god damn, dude, what if that shit's real? Like, just the thought of it's a little weird.
Yeah.
And I would say that's why these movies are so appealing. Demonic possession in anything, like I don't believe in demonic possession. I don't. Exorcist is my number one. That's the movie that gives me goosebumps. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why.
Still to this day, it's a haunted movie.
I've watched hundreds of other movies with demonic possession. Exorcist, even hearing the theme song to this day in my 30s gives me goosebumps. I don't know why.
It's all atmosphere, bro. It's from the
Yeah.
from the first shot on. It is just every little scene in that movie is designed to make you on edge. You're
And
never comfortable in that entire movie.
Wasn't she like in character, even though she didn't realize she was in character the whole time?
Well, there's stories about what happened to her on the sets.
If that remake isn't good enough to make people walk out of theaters, I don't even want to see it.
What the fuck could you do to make this society walk out of theaters?
I don't know. It's like, if that's my problem with these horror remakes, is if you're gonna do a movie like The Exorcist, if you're gonna even fucking touch a movie like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, hard R, it needs to be disturbing.
It needs to be a bloodbath.
Yes. It needs to be borderline NC-17 if you're gonna do that.
No, and that's my thing. Here's the thing: is the pandemic has proven that you can be successful out of theaters, right? So theaters say, "Oh, we're not going to do it because it's okay." Distribute it yourself. Put it to VOD only. Label it unrated. If people, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing, is the pandemic showed things where you can do this. You're not tied to the fucking theaters anymore. And I think if you did that, you look at The Invisible Man, $10 million budget, $200 million intake.
And people will enjoy it rather than fucking hearing other people's. I don't know. I don't want to hear other people fucking talking unless it's my family, so I can tell them shut up, so I can finish watching it.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think we all kind of agree. Lewis and I think for sure agree.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear anybody else.
Alex
asked me. She's like, "You love Michael Myers. You love Halloween. Would you want me to take you to see Halloween Kills in October in the movie theater?" And I'm like, no, I don't want to go
watch
to
it
a
at
movie
home
theater.
when it comes out.
If it comes. Oh, by the way, Nobody is now available for $20. So I'm gonna wait till I see it a little bit cheaper. Then I'm gonna pick that up. But it just hit to buy because I wasn't renting it for $20. Fuck you. I'll buy it when it comes out.
I told her, I was like, if I can't guarantee an empty theater, I'd rather pay $20 to rent it and get a sitter. Like, I can't be bothered, man.
Yeah.
Also, I'm an old dude. If I gotta take a piss or a shit, I don't want to miss a scene.
Pause. Yep.
Yeah.
That is one of the very nice. Though, like, here's the thing, right? You can either spend $12 for a little shit thing of chicken nuggets at the theater, Or you can literally go upstairs to, for me, go upstairs to my air fryer, pause the movie, and do whatever the
Yourself
fuck
a
I
whole
want.
dinner.
Yeah, make your dinner and come
Well,
back. Like,
all three of us,
Yeah.
has had this experience. I'm sure several times. You're going to see a movie you really want to see, and in your head, you're like, "I'm not gonna get up." And like you sit down, and the movie's starting, and you're like, "I gotta take a shit." So
Yep.
I gotta wait.
Yep.
I gotta Google how long this movie is.
Yeah.
Because I paid $10 and I got to take a shit.
Has
And the
any-
movie just
Oh,
started.
$10? You're lucky. I spent 16.
Has anyone had this one where you run out of drink, and it's a
Yes.
movie that you really want to watch,
Parched.
and your wife refuses to, like, you're like, hey, could you please go? No. And they won't get the refill for you, so you have to go miss a movie that you really want to watch because you're
I've had
dying
that.
of thirst because, like an asshole, you chugged your drink before the movie even started in the previews.
And my wife says, well, what if they don't give you the free drink? Well, it's free refills.
It's
Go.
self-serve,
Well,
goddammit.
no. She's like, but what if they don't do it for me? Go. Like, yeah.
Jenna's just told me flat out, like, no. And it's like, bitch, please. Like,
The popcorn's almost empty. Go dump it out and fucking refill it.
Here's the thing. When it's one of her movies, I like back in the day when we were dating and it was some chick flick I had no fucking interest in, it was
You would
like,
go?
gonna go get a refill. Just like walk around the theater like, that looks like a cool screening. Like, da-da-da-da-da. Like, I would take do I want popcorn? Like, I would play some Guitar Hero arcade. Like,
Making conversation with the people behind the counter that just want to eat a bullet.
yeah. They're just
How's
like, don't you
your
have a
day?
movie to watch?
How
Well,
was your day going?
here's the thing about that.
Now they actually serve alcohol. Right before pandemic hit, they started
I
serving
think
alcohol.
the idea behind
But-
bars and movie theaters is it's one of the reasons it takes it away from me because now I'm only a half.
But you have to get up and go.
But
You have to get up and go get it.
you're a fucking half step away from the drunk assholes at the fucking baseball games you go to by introducing that shit. At some point,
Well,
you're no better than a shitty pool,
the-
a shitty fucking bowling alley that serves fucking PBR for $5 a cup. It's ridiculous. Fuck that.
I've never bought the alcohol at the theater because I brought my own, but it's outside the theater, so you don't make frequent stops in there because you want to watch the movie.
But it's
Yeah.
it's the same as like the Alamo Draft House that you can eat. It's like, no, I'd rather just like
You want alcohol in the movie? Do it like the old school way. You buy a large soda, you smuggle in a fucking King Cobra, you don't fill it with anything, you get some ice, and then you pour the fucking King Cobra in it in the movie theater, and then your dipshit buddy drops it, and you hear it ting, 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 all the way fucking down because it was stadium seating. That's how you do it.
That's how I watch Tai Chi Masters.
That's how you bring alcohol into a theater.
That is Jackie Chan and Jet Li. No, that's Jet Li and who else?
Tai Chi
I gotta look it up
Masters.
again.
What year
Tai
was
Chi
this?
Master. Yeah. Oh, 90s.
1792.
Right.
No, the 90s.
Was American Ninja still new?
No. Oh, no.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
Alex
I'll
over
think
here
about
is
it for a
just
second.
shitting on every joke. He's just like, no, it wasn't. The,
No, I had to
American
think about it
Ninja.
for a second.
American Ninja came out in 1986. No.
Did somebody call the fun police?
Right? You fucking. I'm just gonna call you Floyd. You're just like, I don't get it.
Hey, don't get Chewy on us.
Careful.
All right. Anyways,
Watch this.
back to. So I was asking you guys earlier. Have you guys seen all of the Conjuring, like all of the Conjuring universe movies?
No,
I have
I
not
have
seen
not.
Annabelle 2 or The Nun yet.
I've seen Annabelle, and I think I've seen Conjuring 1. I missed 2, and I have not seen The Nun. And I own The Nun because you gave me the fucking digital
I've
code.
seen
But
none
you've
of it.
seen La Llorona and the Annabelle movies.
Watch your
Oh,
language.
no. I've seen the very first La Llorona, not Curse of La Llorona.
Not The Nun. But La Llorona is not considered Conjuring Universe, though,
Oh,
according
only
to HBO
because-
Max.
Yeah, but I know, but only I told you earlier, only because the girl has the fucking Annabelle doll. That's why they say that it might be tied into it. Because it happens before Ed and Lorraine.
Are you sure it's not just like a shout out?
No, I think
It might-
it was
I don't know.
supposed to be like a spin-off, its own thing.
Yeah.
But I think I rag on stuff that's shared universes, but I
As you
do
should.
think Ed and Lorraine Warren, because they actually did collect their artifacts that are now a museum that you can go to. I think that's probably the best way to do a horror universe. But again, I mean, they did so many cases that at some point, Conjuring 7 is just like same shit, different
Yeah.
I mean,
thing.
why don't you stop doing Conjuring movies, and you make a new brand out of it called the Conjuring Files, and you can both fit in Ed and the Rain's Adventures plus all the other ones. And you just kind of design it.
Why?
You remember how with like the like Goosebumps or even the Tales Before Crypt, where you kind of do like a weird thing where you do like a walkthrough of the house, like a zoomed in floaty thing going into their room with everything, and then like it highlights on one object.
Why?
And it's the
Why do
file
you
of this.
always come up with better ideas for the scripts than the fucking movies that are already like every time we're like, why? How come it's not this? And you mention it, it's like, I want to see that movie.
Okay, you
Why?
guys, I don't know how I would make this. Okay, so this is, I would love to write a coming of age movie where I would be able to load like music and all, like kind of one of those type movies. Here's how I want my movie to open, right? It is Andrew WK's Party Hard.
Just all right, I'm in already.
Okay. The scene is you're in a car, right, with 4 teenagers or 3 teenagers, probably 4, and it's a time lapse of them driving around on a Friday night. And there's, they're getting high, they're having fun. Here they're at the local this, they're at the local that, and then the scene ends with an abrupt accident. From inside the car, you show it from outside the car, rolls over, kids are all fucking dead and mangled. And
Jesus
then
Christ.
No. But then the scene goes
No.
The scene cuts directly to what is the actual main character of the movie, who is a teenager who goes, "What the fuck?" He was at like the burger place that's off of the road where this happened, the accident happened. And that's how it starts. It's his story of like his like going into the last summer until he graduates high school, or he junior to senior or whatever, and it starts with him seeing that. And like the end of the school year, the last few days are talking about these poor kids who died, and it's all that, and that's kind of the catalyst for pushing him forward in his journey. I was just sitting there the other day and I was like, can you imagine a movie where like it's literally a scene like that where it's an abrupt cut to the accident and then another cut to another person you haven't seen the entire movie, them reacting, them going forward, and they're the actual main character of the movie. I think it'd be a cool twist.
See, as you were describing that, I was like, it's a comedy movie, and then you're like, and then
no,
they die.
No, it is. But that's the thing is,
they all die.
And we see them fall inside out. It is a dramedy.
From inside and outside the car.
It's a mix of Superbad and I don't know, another coming. I don't know what's another. It's like a mix of Superbad meets.
Didn't McLovin just turn 40?
Like a more the character did. Yeah, his license. Yeah.
I like that idea for me in my head, the montage of them driving all these places. It's just a slowly circling panning cam, and it just constantly goes around, sees all of them, and by the time it comes back to like the front view, like car
you got
crash.
that one person going like this.
Well, you do several scenes,
fly.
right? So you set it up like them driving is almost like Wayne's World, where you show the car passing this area and then this area, and then on the inside camera where you're showing is when you do kind of like the 360, and then when it comes back, it's whatever they hit, whether it be a tree or this or whatever, and then the whole concept is you think these are going to be the characters of the movie. You think it's just going to be like, hey, it's a party, stupid, dazed and confused drug movie, and then it's real, like it's more of a dramedy, like a more of a reality based coming of age tale where this kid's like, holy fuck, and like they deal with the consequences of that in real life, and then that shows a little bit how it shapes the rest of the decisions he makes for the next school year and his future and how he thinks about life, or if he's graduating high school going into the world. Maybe it's his kind of wake up of like what the fuck. So you get lots of elements of like Orange County and Superbad and a bunch of Stand By Me, and I think it would be a really cool concept to like start a movie off like you just fucking throw the audience off.
So dramedy, like fucking Very Bad Things, which did a very good job.
That was a weird movie though, man.
But it did a very good job of being comedy and fucking
one of Christian Slater's best movies. Horror.
Would
all of them actually
Punch Drunk Love be dramedy?
Yeah,
sort of.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there is like the comedy in Punch Drunk Love is very subtle though. It's his movements, the fact that he's buying the whole thing of pudding and he demands his airline miles now, and that whole kind of it's a weird.
It's a good fucking movie. It's such a good movie.
The mattress man and Philip Seymour Hoffman just kind of steals the show for a little bit.
So you mentioned the fucking music about having Andrew WK do your version of something. What about the music they used in here, fucking Blondie? Call Me. Did you hear when the fucking the guy in the fucking hospital?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
person.
That
Was
was a
that not
weird
creepy to you?
scene.
Or it was creepy or
Well,
weird.
what was going on? Was he like in a drug? Like the other
He
guy
was.
was.
I think it was just
It was him
reminding him of
hallucinating.
what happened. It was no, it was him reminding him, well, the demonic possession or whatever,
Yeah,
reminding him of what happened with Bruno, because that was
yeah.
the song that was playing. So I thought that was kind of
Bruno.
funny, cool, and creepy at the
I
same
saw
time.
these guys live.
Yeah, in
79.
Sydney. It was in Sydney.
That
Like, no,
guy
you
I've
went to
seen
fucking
in
Australia.
several movies. He always plays like the greasy side character.
Oh, he was very greasy. He was so greasy that I fucking wanted to wash myself after seeing him.
All right,
Holy shit!
you he just looks like looking at him made me sweat. I'm over here like, am I okay? I'm good, right? I put on
Yeah,
deodorant. Like you're like, do I
have
need
a
a
beer.
shower now?
I
Like,
don't want to. I don't want them to think I'm a fucking drunk.
like you the whole time you're
You
looking at
are
him,
a
you're like,
drunk.
you need a fan, bro. Like sit in front of a fan. I know it's 1981, but sit in front of a goddamn fan for 2 minutes, please. You look disgusting.
Fuck your hi-fi sound. Get a fan.
He's in a Tarantino film. I can't fucking think of which one.
Is
Uh,
he from Kill Bill 1? Is he Buck?
I think you're right.
oh, he likes to fuck, huh?
Yeah. Okay. Let's do some final thoughts, if any, on Conjuring 3, and then we'll move on.
Uh,
Blah, blah, blah,
go
blah.
ahead.
It's
Near you.
it's a good movie. It's like I said, it's a blockbuster horror movie. I mean, it's exactly what comes with a blockbuster horror movie. Patrick Wilson is awesome in it. The
Yes.
chemistry between him and
Parmesan.
Vera Parmesan, really great. Yeah, I mean those two steal the show. It's got the weird kid with the big glasses from Haunting a Hill House. It's a very good looking movie. Like I said, there's some scenes with the CGI and the backdrops that are kind of off. Um, but all the Conjuring movies are great. I would say that the first and the second one are better than this third one, in my
They're
opinion.
different movies. The first one was virtually no CG. It relied upon complete atmosphere. It was a subtle horror movie that had some jump scares towards the end. Number two was when they started going more paint by numbers. Because you gotta remember when number one came out for a decent budgeted movie, like a AAA movie, it was like, oh, okay, that was kind of refreshing. That wasn't the usual. Two started to go more mainstream. It depends on what you're looking for. If you got to kind of equate it to, this is the junk food version of horror movies.
Yeah.
So if you are a junk food fan of the horror movie genre, where you don't understand the appeal to a Mandy, or you don't understand the appeal to a Willie's, or you don't understand the appeal to a The Void, and you want things explained for you, you want things CG, you want scary ghosts and pop outs, and that to you as horror movie, you're gonna love this movie. If you're
Yeah,
somebody who really digs in, if you're like Lewis, who's a true believer, if you're like me, who I like the sick shit myself. In that respect, I think it's a great family horror movie because it wasn't that. No, I mean it wasn't that
No,
violent.
not for me.
Not that, but it's not a
No,
violent
no,
movie.
but
The language
end
isn't
result-
really all
end
that
result-
coarse. There's no nudity,
End
but
result would have been fucking more. End
Yeah,
result for me would have been more.
this is like the standard missionary style horror movie. My horror taste is like the weird butt stuff.
the Kama Sutra of horror movies.
Yeah,
It was
so
every position,
no, but
downward
it's a
facing
good
swan
movie.
hole.
I'd say because it is a good blockbuster horror movie. I'd say 3.5 out of 5 spooky hot dogs.
Okay.
Alejandro.
So for me, I like fucking John Noble. He was what's his name? Glassell. What the guy that had all the relics and shit in his basement. I like that guy. That's fucking Walter from Fringe. And I every time I see him, I fucking
Yeah, I don't know, man. His whole character was completely wasted in this flick, though.
Yeah, I wish they would have done more with him.
Like he was the one that was tied to everything, and they just kind of like it's like
Yeah, he's like, oh, I forgot to tell you, it was
She's
my
my
daughter.
daughter. No, by the way, hello, sweetheart, and flap. All right.
No, but I like that guy though, man. I really like him. He does a lot of shit. The thing about the Blondie song, there was the music that fucking tied me into that part.
I do like scenes like that. It just that whole scene was really fucking weird.
Yeah, when he, and that's what I said when he first got his fucking view of his fucking flash and shit, of what the demonic possession was doing to him and stuff, and that's where he actually kills Bruno. Oh, I'm sorry if I spoiled it, but that's what happens to Bruno. And then it comes back later. I like how all that happened. If I were to actually watch this with my family, it wouldn't be this family film like what you guys are saying. I'd be fucking sitting in the fucking living room right now with everybody lined up on the couches.
When we say that, we mean like
I know.
in the horror subgenre, this is like a nice warm
It's
meal.
literally
No,
it's
I know
rated R
what
for
you
no
guys are saying.
reason.
I know
like,
what you guys
on
are
that
saying.
spectrum, because like your whole thing is like can't show tits. So like there's none of that. There's really not even any violence. Like on that spectrum, it's really closer to a movie that you can watch with your family more than an Insidious, more than a Sinister. Well, maybe
Yeah,
Insidious.
okay.
You know, like out of the AAA shit, your family's going to be able to digest this and be less traumatized because there's less gore, there's less language, it's more atmosphere and cheap jump outs and spooky mythology that they take, for a little bit more. So like
I can
that's
see what
I
you're
mean.
saying.
Like I don't mean it as like go
But
watch with
I'm
your
saying
kids,
what.
everybody.
But I'm saying for my family, here's what would have happened. We would have made it through the movie, and then right when the last part, when the fucking actual audio files were being played, that's where my wife would have started fucking asking questions, and then she would have made my kids ask questions, and then I would have been like, oh god, here we go. I'm gonna be sleeping in fucking the living room.
I'm not gonna
That's
lie.
the best thing about being a dad, though. You just make stuff up. Be like, yeah, it was all real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like sitting there through the real recordings. I was like, if this is real, could I be letting things in by like
By listening to it,
like
yeah.
is this like bad for me to do? Like, but once again, I
And
don't
and,
know.
and the funny thing is, I actually watched to the end because I didn't know how long they were going to play them. So I watched the credits till the end just to see if they were going to play everything to the end.
I mean that literally was the scariest. But the real audio type of shit is always the creepiest to me. Like,
Yeah.
that to me, because like once again, it is one of
Well,
those things where I can say all day, every day, it is absolutely 100% fake. The truth of it is nobody really. I mean, there's people that may know. I don't know.
Some audio files that I actually listened to with my wife was the Jonestown. And she is so fucking creeped out, and that's where she says, "I never want to hear that podcast again." I was like, "No, it was only one episode."
Oh, I could show her worse things than that. I could ruin your day.
I'm gonna go with 3 for this because I did like it. I think it would scare the shit out of my family, and that's one of the reasons why. So I think three hot dogs out of this would be for me.
I agree. I'm gonna go with 3. I think it's a well done run of the mill. You gotta love Patrick Wilson. You gotta love Miss Parmesan. I thought the villain in this one was a little weak. By the way, they really did was she real? She was real, right?
She was.
Yeah, they don't really distinguish that all that much because she's got these demonic abilities and shit, and then the next thing you know, she's a real person.
So did the nun take place before this or after this?
The what?
The nun is like way before this.
Oh, okay. That's why you thought
there was
the
a
nun
reference
was
to the
part
nun.
of this, though.
Well, but there is a reference to the nun in this.
So the nun
And Annabelle.
The main actress in the nun is actually the younger sister of Vera Parmesan. She's from American Horror Story.
Oh, okay.
But Annabelle and the nun are both referenced in this.
Yeah, Valak is the entity that looks like the nun.
I guess the thing about it is if you're gonna do the universe, do it right. Do it how I think it should be done. Like, it makes no sense when you have this whole structure of them having years of cases to not have a Conjuring files, and just every movie you do that's a side piece is under the Conjuring umbrella. It's Conjuring file number. It's about this piece, this artifact. They got to go a whole fucking room full of them. That's a bunch of sequels and shit. I just don't get why you don't push for that, and instead it's Conjuring 3, and then it's, but this is part of it. Why not say, hey, everything under the, like Marvel's done that properly. Marvel has said, every product we do gets the fucking Marvel stamp, and if it doesn't have that fucking Marvel stamp, get it out. It's not part of the universe. What's that? The Blade movies? Get them out. They don't have the Marvel stamp. What's that? Nope. What's that Spider-Man pre-fucking 2015? Get them out. No, like that's the problem with it is they haven't done that. There is no stamp of like, this is our universe. It's like, hey, did you see The Nun? Yeah, here it's tied to The Conjuring. And it's like, hi, Ed. Like, oh, definitely part of the Conjuring universe. Okay.
I hear what you're saying, and we need a scene where Captain America's just walking around and someone's like, Cap on your left, and fucking Valak the nun pops out of the sky.
Do it.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. They're superheroes, right? Why don't we, like...
and drops from fucking 75 feet.
Like, literally, the most danger they've been in was due to Thanos. And I'm supposed to be worried about, like, the future of, like... What else are you gonna do? Like you have poison storylines. Everybody's like, Drax's storyline is so watered down. The fact that Drax up against Thanos was treated as a bug, when realistically Drax would have been able to rip through him if you follow the comic storyline.
So you thought Batista could actually pull it off though?
I don't think he's a good actor. The recording.
Uh-oh.
I actually stopped the recording. We're right back here. It just cut out now. I accidentally pressed the space bar. What I was saying was he's a shit actor.
Batista,
yeah. I got 15 million. Maybe I could do artisan grilled cheese or something. Fuck out of here. Oh, I turned down the what was it? The Guardians or Suicide Squads 2, so I could star in this depressing piece of shit. Don't worry, you don't have to deal with me too much because I'm blurring in half of it. Fuck out of here. All right, so we've all given our stuff.
He's not a great actor yet.
No, we'll be right back with Mr. Nanny. See you soon.
Yes.
All right, you bitches, we're back. We're reviewing Urban Commando. Urban Commando.
You didn't even say that one right, you fucking tired bastard.
I didn't.
We're going to be doing Urban Commando starring DMX.
Mr. Nanny starring Hulk Hogan.
Terry Bollevay or Bull of Eggs or whatever his name is.
Terry Bollea.
Directed by Michael something, also written by him.
It doesn't
He's
matter.
probably not too proud of it because this movie bombed. So 84 minutes long. This released in October of 1993.
It's a perfect Halloween movie.
Yeah.
$10 million to make, and didn't even make half that back. Ooh. So that's good.
What do you think to date?
What?
What do you think to date with purchases and everything?
Yeah, it probably made $72 post heyday. Do you
really think? No, do you really think that?
Dude, this movie, like, it popping up on HBO Max was like, oh, Mr. Nanny's on HBO Max, huh? Like, movies like even Suburban Commando, which is far superior, is it's like $11 on Vudu basically. Nobody's buying it. I'm
just curious, like to this date, how much do you think it made?
Dude, it's not. The problem is the generation's gone. Nobody gives a fuck about Hulk Hogan. The only people buying this are 35-year-old men.
Yeah, this is a bad movie, but I still like it. This movie does star a bunch of wrestlers that Alex is probably familiar with.
Beefcake. You've got Hulk.
Do you want me to name them off for you?
Go for it.
Appa. He's the the Uganda giant there.
He's
there's
dead.
George. No, Alpha's not dead.
He's not dead.
He's in bad shape.
No, he's the Rock's uncle.
Oh no, never mind.
George the Animal Steel, he's dead.
Is he dead? Yeah, he's dead.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart, he's dead.
Yep,
he's dead.
The Zodiac, the black and white guy, that's Brutus Beefcake, who is supposed to be Hulk Hogan's brother.
Is
he dead?
He's not his brother.
No, he's alive. And then Kamala, he's dead.
He's dead.
Those are the plants of Vixen, common human dance of
Kamala Zodiac, yeah.
This movie also stars Austin Pendleton, Austin Pendleton, who he's in a bunch of movies I can never think of, but I like him in every movie he's in.
Is he the dad?
No, that's the kid is Robert Gorman, is that his name?
The little girls from the Nanny, the TV show. I used to love that show.
She's also in fucking that one with James. What's the David Duchovny, the Californication.
Oh, is she? When she's older.
Yeah, when she's older and he actually bangs her in it, and I was like, what the fuck?
Oh,
That's
a little weird.
Yeah,
got really awkward. The
Yeah.
kid,
exactly.
Alex, who ironically is the best actor in this shit show. He's also in Leprechaun, and he also plays Alex. So shared universe. Bet you didn't see that coming.
No,
I
you're
actually
wrong. You're
thought
wrong.
Sherman
though.
Helmsley was the best actor.
It's either the only two stars of this movie are Sherman Helmsley and the cook.
Oh, the cook, yes, exactly.
Those are the two greats. Hulk Hogan is basically just on the spectrum for most of the movie. Like it's literally a ripoff of Home Alone meets Problem Child, and like the dad is just so unbelievable. Where like there's that scene where he's like, I gotta get moving, and Hulk Hogan's like, you got more important stuff than to tuck in your kids, and he's like, actually I do.
Exactly.
And then you like literally I imagine in the script it was like show emotion, and he's just like, no I don't.
And Hulk Hogan.
Also, we forgot to mention the main villain, David Johansen, or my mom. He plays Tommy.
My hair.
Buster Poindexter. Oh,
I had such beautiful hair. God, I remember that. I remember as a kid, I didn't understand the steel plate. I was like, "What the fuck is going?" Like as a kid, I was like, "I don't understand." Like even as an adult,
to this day, I didn't understand the steel plate until I heard.
Yeah, but there's no situation at any time period where they're like, "No, we're gonna use a $10 jewel bowl that we bought, and we're gonna fix it to your fucking cranium." That's not how it works.
I didn't like. I burst out. There's one scene where I burst out laughing in this movie, and it's when Hulk Hogan's telling either the girl or the boy that Thanatos fell off the roof and he fell on his hair, so he survived.
I think it was both kids.
Let's forget about the neck bones and the vertebrae and all that.
I couldn't stop fucking
Look, the good thing is the hair took the fall. Yeah, the hair took the fall.
The pool was empty. Oh god.
Sherman Helmsley is funny though. Every scene, like he's talking to him on the phone, more shit's getting repoed. Until it ends up like they're taking the phone from him and he's hitting him with their cane as they're taking his phone.
He fucking snatches the coffee pot off the fucking the fucking
Sherman
the plug-in iron.
Him and the cook is the best part because she don't take no shit.
Yeah, oh yeah.
She's just like, listen, white man. Fuck
I
you.
do like one of my favorite scenes is with Sherman Helmsley and the kid where he's just pulling on all these fucking weapons for him to take to school.
Ting! And then he like slams the lead pipe on the ground. Blackjack, make his brains go everywhere.
Was that the reason why his fucking leg is so stiff when he walks? Because he had a fucking lead pipe in there.
But the funny thing,
whole fucking time.
My favorite part of that scene is he literally lead pipe, old classic, and then he goes ting, and you hear it bang on the ground. It's like that was a real lead pipe. That was a pipe. Fucking guy had a pipe in his pants. What the fuck?
The kid's like, no, don't worry about it. I got it.
Rewatching this movie, like I knew it was.
Horrible.
I knew even for its time, it wasn't a good movie, and I was looking up. Like you got to realize this movie came out after Home Alone. This movie kind of like for its time didn't know what it wanted to be. If it wanted to be like slapstick, or if it wanted to be.
Well, have you watched Three Ninjas? Because Three Ninjas is almost the same kind of tone.
Yeah,
Three Ninjas is better, but.
But was this in the peak of Rockin' WrestleMania or Rockin' whatever Rockin' WrestleMania, whatever they called it for the Hulk, the cartoon show that they had? Do you remember that or no?
Oh.
So they had a cartoon.
That was 80s, dude. This was 93.
Okay. All right. So was this on the heels of all that shit? Where they're trying to keep it relevant, where Hulk Hogan is going to be in the movies industry. He's gonna make a movie, and they're gonna tie it into wrestling, because that's what they did.
Here's the thing: is so Suburban Commando came out in '91 and was I don't have the stats. I'm gonna imagine it was more of a commercial success than this one was, if marginally. Okay, so no, it had an $11 million budget and had a box office of $8 million. Didn't do very well. The thing about it was,
and it had Undertaker in it.
Suburban Commando was a better movie though.
Yeah, it was.
This movie literally looks like it had the budget of an episode of Burn Notice for the whole movie. Like it's not.
I would agree. I also think Suburban Commando is a better film.
By far, it's better writing. You've got Christopher Lloyd, you've got Shelley Duvall, you've got The Undertaker. Larry Miller is awesome in anything he's ever fucking been in. Suburban Commando is a better cast. They're more likable. They're not as goofy. It's better shot. It's outside. There's actual.
not to deep dive into Suburban Commando, but are we doing that next week or no?
Yes.
Okay, so let's not dive too much into that.
I'll dive as far as I'll go head first.
Let's save it. Let's save it. Let's save it.
Just my hair to save me.
all of his movies have been colossal failures.
Well, yeah, he wasn't very popular in that aspect, but No Holds Barred, honestly, was like that might have been the biggest one out of all his failures with Zeus, because they also tied it into WrestleMania, I believe.
I hate to tell you,
one of the two.
But No Holds Barred was his most commercial success. $8 million budget, $16 million box office.
So, like I said, that was his most successful out of all of them.
You said it was his most colossal failure.
Oh, did I? No, did
That's
I say
exactly what you just said. His most colossal failure. You've been sucking back Grandpa's old cough medicine, have you?
Oh shit! I'm saying my words backwards.
As you're saying,
I'm smelling burnt toast right now.
You're saying your birds backwards, man.
Yeah, I'm smelling burnt toast
right,
right now.
Let's move on to it. Mr. Nanny, it's a terrible movie. Basic concept. Rich little shithead fucking kids cannot be controlled. When he pulls up, the other nanny is running out of the house. They torture them. They set up traps. And Hulk Hogan is this steroid freak that's going to say, listen here, you little motherfuckers. You're going to listen or I'm going to rip your heads off and shit down your throat. And basically the movie has your very run-of-the-mill kind of little kids are little assholes, and then they love him, and he loves
Rich
them.
Little kids
and it goes from it's just a job for him in the beginning, man, and then by the end of it, it's I'm gonna save those kids, brother. And
I don't work with kids.
Some of the most ridiculous shit is the fucking toilet seat. He uses it to fight against the guy, I think, steel-balled head. At one point, one of the scenes still sticks with me that is actually rather fucked up is when the fake Schwarzenegger, who is, by the way, in real life Schwarzenegger's personal stunt double, is like, it's been 90 seconds, and he's like, let him up, and he's literally had him in the water. That is pretty good form of torture, frankly. But if he's a smoker, he's not going to last 90 seconds, you know what I mean?
No.
He's a piece of shit father. He uses the death of his wife as a scapegoat to consume himself with work and neglect his children. He knows they're pieces of shit. He
can't put up enough work.
You know, he knows all he has to do is slap them around a little bit, and they'd be nicer fucking kids because they got everything they could ever need. You see,
but he doesn't want to be the bad guy.
You know, grow up, buddy. You're a weapons developer. You're the bad guy to a lot of fucking nations. Let's be honest. That missile you're developing with that little chip, there's a lot of fucking poor Arab kids that are going to die because of it. You're the fucking bad guy. It's literally the 90s.
I like how he carries it in his pocket like a little wedding ring.
I'll put it in
it's in a wedding ring case, yeah.
This is the difference between movies, the caliber of seriousness of a movie, right? This guy puts this chip that's worth billions into a dolly. Terminator 2 has them into a double-locked vault with keys and fingerprints and shit. That just shows you that when they wrote this script, they're like, put it in the fucking dolly. It'll make sense because the kids will need the dolly, and then Hulk Hogan will have the dolly. We got it.
Now, as a family movie, though,
garbage.
How this is all directed, I believe. It's the family movie formula.
It's very much.
We talked about the formula of Conjuring,
but it wasn't done well. Like Suburban Commando is another one it wasn't. That is also formulaic, but done better. I mean, this is literally The Rock's Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, exactly. Early versions of it.
Yeah, that type of thing. Where but once again, there wasn't as many of these big hulking guys in the industry like there is now. Like that's the difference. Is nowadays, any one of these actors can do some HGH, get a fucking fitness trainer, and be as big as the Hulk. Like that's the difference. But back then, it was you needed this guy or fucking O.J. Simpson because they were big.
You needed the juice.
I honestly think if they were to remake this movie to this day and use almost very similar to the storyline and just tweak some shit, it would do fucking box office hit for a family movie.
Yeah, but it's how you play it though. You put Kevin Hart in the role, you put The Rock in the role, but you can't do The Rock because The Rock already had his string of them.
Yeah.
So you gotta do a different type of tough guy. Maybe a Kevin Hart who's got the tough guy, but he's also got the small guy complex.
Braun Strowman. He's out of work now.
That's
Put him in an actor.
You'll
ability.
sure have a flop.
You gotta get a bunch of wrestling cameos. You get the My Whole Girl, maybe Ronda Rousey.
No, she's out of wrestling. She can't do it. She's pregnant. She can't do it.
I'm glad somebody impregnated her. God, I'd like Rousey. I don't know why.
I saw the comment you made on one of the wrestling threads about maybe he wants to be an actor.
Well, he shaved his beard.
Yeah, he shaved his beard.
And like, here's the thing: is like having.
He looks like he's a cholo.
He looks like he could be a Jersey Shore douchebag. You're right. I saw it, but it's like, I mean, if he has aspirations to act, the truth is he's gonna get roles easier with that look than fucking woodland creature man.
Anthony, if you don't know, Braun Strowman was this big guy who was kind of overweight for a little while.
He basically looked like,
and he finally started getting into shape.
He looks like Bane from Batman and Robin.
And they just released him after he started getting in shape.
Really good.
And he started getting better on mic. He started getting better in his skills, and WWE just released him because his money is bigger than what they wanted to deal with.
As soon as his non-compete clause is done, he'll be.
Yeah.
But back to Mr. Nanny. Here's the thing. Go check it out. It's a decent family movie. It's stupid. It's low budget looking. With considering its budget was decent, like $8 million. Like that's a decent amount.
I think you said $10 million, did you?
Yeah. Like that's not bad for it back then. So like $10
million, yeah.
It's definitely under quality for what the movie was. You know what I mean? Like it's not a good movie, but I still really enjoy it. It's one of those guilty pleasure movies, like McCall's Navy.
It is.
You know, like one of those type things.
Here's my question: during this, was Hulk Hogan employed by WCW? Was he in WWF?
I think this was the in-between transition.
I'm curious now because that would explain why there's so much money going into this movie, because the Zodiac this is WCW days, because the Zodiac is from WCW.
No. See, here's the thing. So June 11th, 1994 is when Hogan went to WCW. This was during his WWE days, noted by also looking at his build. When he went over to WCW, he had a much leaner and non-steroid build. He still got some fluff. This is weird. This is the end of his WWE run.
But just so you know, WCW was the first appearance of the Zodiac, which is Brutus Beefcake, and he came out with the dungeon whatever. The Dungeon of Doom, and that's where the guy came out with the fucking Star Wars mask sprayed in fucking glitter, and he fell through the wall, and that was Tugboat. That was
Well, see, they don't.
He's also in like porn names.
He's not a character.
I know it does.
He's not a character. He's the
guy with the black and white.
Yes,
he's the guy with the black and white that's kicking him.
Yes, but his character is not the Zodiac.
That's his character in WCW.
He is credited as Self. So I guarantee you what happened is that was a concept that he wanted to do. WWE was not
over to WCW.
Well, WWE wouldn't let him. So for the movie, he said, "Okay, fuck it, I'm going to do this." And then when he got into WCW, he's like, "Well, this is the character I had in the movie. I think I have these ideas," and that's probably how that happened.
That is so fucking weird. To me, at least,
this is where I'm going to test out my magnum opus on the set of Mr. Nanny.
It was still a big failure to his character, but yeah.
I didn't realize Sherman Helsley died that long ago. 2012, jeez.
Yeah.
Fudge. Okay.
I really did enjoy this movie, though. Like I said, I think today, if they remade this movie and did it in today's fashion, it would be a success.
Yeah.
With tweaks to the story.
It's got the formula.
It would be a success.
Well, look at how many movies copied the formula. The Pacifier with Vin Diesel.
Oh, yeah.
The Jackie Chan one. The Rock's The Game Plan and the Tooth Fairy.
John Cena's the Firehouse one.
Yep, John Cena's the Firehouse one. Think of all of those.
There's even one with Batista where he
the Spy, the My Spy or whatever the hell it is.
Which I watched with my family.
All of those movies copy this formula with varying degrees of success. Arnold, in my opinion, is still the only one to truly do this type of movie and be successable with it. A la Jingle All the Way,
as far as an actor, though.
Well, no, as far as a big beefy dude transitioning into this role.
Well, no, I'm talking about as far as him actually being able to act.
I'm saying success, his acting, everything. He's the only one to successfully pull off a movie like this. If you had this role with Arnold, it would have been a better movie because he would have said, no, this is bullshit. I'm not signing on this quality. I'm not signing on at this line. And B, he would have acted it better than Hulk Hogan. It wouldn't have been, oh, he's a dumb jock. It'd have been like, because Arnold couldn't play a dumb jock. Dumb jocks don't have Austrian accents. So that was one of the things Arnold could never do. And because he started in Pumping Iron was where he was first seen, and you saw that he was an articulate guy, that he was a smart guy, they can never make him be the dumb jock. Hulk Hogan fits it because he's a shit actor. And not only that, but I mean, by this time in his career and life, he's fucking balding, and he looks like shit, frankly. You know,
he's got a 5 head, by the way.
Yeah, like
he looks like the Crypt Keeper.
He really looks bad, and there's not much. You know, he's in great shape still, but he looks like he's aging rapidly, like Benjamin.
I can see why Hulk Hogan wore a fucking do-rag through his whole fucking NWO phase.
Yeah, well, he had to.
He covered that big ass forehead. Dude's got a big ass forehead with no fucking hair.
You know, that's the thing about it is like this movie.
I've got no hair, but I wouldn't. Oh my god!
That wasn't a do-rag; it was an actual shirt he was wearing around his
head. He stole it from one of the Make-A-Wish kids on the way out from Gorilla. But let's wrap up what we want to say. Anybody got any last words to say about Mr. Nanny before we go on to the giving it the review?
I enjoyed it, and the fucking soundtrack was kind of creepy weird.
Oh my god!
You didn't like it, but it was kind of creepy weird because if you listen to the words, it fucking fit every fucking scene.
Here's my impression of Hulk like Hogan. A B movie porn.
Yeah. Here's my impression of Hulk Hogan with a Walkman.
Yeah.
And then play.
No, he plays it and he's like, all right. And then he's like, oh, it didn't click, and hits it again. Like, he's such a bad... And they were just like, fuck it, we're tired. We don't want to deal with you anymore today, Terry. Just cut the fucking scene. We'll keep it that way. I don't fucking care anymore. I'm going to go home and jerk off and cry. I'm done for today, Terry. That's the director slash writer.
If I can make a video game analogy, and if you know what I'm talking about, you know. If you don't, whatever. I like this movie because there's so many weird things wrong with it. It's like the deadly premonition of 90s shitty movies like this. Like, Hogan sucks. The score is awful.
Yeah.
The guy who looks like my mom.
Yeah.
The acting. But for some reason, this movie and Suburban Commando have such like a nostalgia factor for me. That I don't know. I like both of the movies.
I do too. I like Suburban Commando more. Mr. Nanny was always the goofier side of it. Like, Suburban Commando is a better, well-rounded movie. This was always the kind of like, have you seen these two? Yeah, no, Suburban Commando is the better of the two, but they're both worth a watch. I enjoy it. It's not even junk food for me at this point. I think this is just nostalgia riding, you know.
In one he plays the bravado guy, the that guy, and then this one he plays the guy who's adapting to his situation.
Well, he's supposed to be he's haunted by his past, which don't make any sense because even after he's out of they don't dive into it. His dream is still he's like, was that his character? Was it his gimmick? Was he the fisher?
Because he was wearing the costume in his fucking dream.
Yeah, the whole time.
Or he was wearing
which doesn't make a whole lot of fun. It's almost like they filmed that and then we're like, wait, how are we going to use this again?
We have a big bulky fisherman that.
Well, no, it's almost like the entire flashback was supposed to be when he was fishing, and then they decided like, no, we'll put it throughout the movie.
But did you see when he actually gave when he put the fish back in the water, he had scales on his hand? How the fuck did that happen? Did you see it?
Because they probably did the take several times because he's a moron.
Because he's a fish man.
How do scales fall off the fish?
If it's dead, they will.
Yeah.
All right, let's give it the numbers. Lewis. Oh, wait, Lewis, did you have anything else to say about it?
No. I'll rate it. If I'm rating this on nostalgia, it's like maybe a 3.5.
Just say it. Okay.
If I'm rating this as a movie, it's like a 2.
I'll do you one better. If you want me to rate it like we legitimately rate movies, you're looking at a 1. It's not. There's nothing about it that's really redeeming as far as quality.
I'm gonna lower it to 1 then.
Nostalgia-wise, I'll give it a solid like 6 to be honest. Or no, I'm sorry. I thought we were fucking out of 10 still.
We're not doing 10 anymore.
I'll give it a solid 3 out of nostalgia simply because like there's only so much I'm going to allow. And if you said, hey, what Hulk Hogan movie would you... I'm only going to watch one Hulk Hogan movie ever, What movie would it be? It'd be Suburban Commando.
I'm gonna go with 3 because this is like one of the first breakouts for any kind of wrestler into a movie other than Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan. Those guys were the only 2 that actually were really big names back in the fucking 80s that broke out of anything
I got
from the
3
wrestling.
minutes.
Well, that was later.
I know.
Yeah. But the ones who got the start on it was Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper.
We're right back. We had a real brief interruption in recording. Please, Alex, go ahead and finish your thought. You were talking about...
I have no idea where the fuck I was, but I'm going to go with Roddy Piper.
Yeah, there you go.
No, but how I feel about the whole wrestling genre and breaking into movies back then, Roddy Piper and Hulk Hogan were the it guys. And Hulk Hogan, I believe, was the one that first started getting his break into it. And then Roddy Piper... I don't remember which one came first. They Live or
They Live came
Hulk
before Suburban Commando.
Yeah.
They Live was 86, I think, and Suburban Commando was 91.
Oh, so this was 93, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
This is late in his career, in his
Oh,
stardom,
shit.
technically. That's why I said it. You see him a visibly tired Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, They Live was 88.
Yeah, so Piper broke through with that shit, and he did a great job. And Hogan was trying to break through with his own thing. But Hogan being a bigger name, everybody still followed him. So I think Hogan was the most rented, and you know that's not part of that whole formula. But I believe that Hogan probably was the most rented guy. But I honestly I'm gonna go with like a 2.5, 3. I'm gonna go with 3 because I did like this movie, and it's really bad acting. It's still entertaining.
Sherman Hemsley and the Cook.
No, Sherman Helmsley, I loved him, and I loved the Cook. I love when she fucking whacked him with the fucking casting iron too.
I used to watch all of those shows, like the Jeffersons and everything, because that's what was that's what was on Channel 26 back in the day, kiddos.
The U,
and then Channel 50 would play it all early in the morning. So I knew him from those shows, and then I was like, holy shit, he's in this movie, and I loved him in that movie too.
I knew him from like 4 years separated from all the shows that you were watching. I'm old. No, but back to what I was saying was that it was the best of whatever you could get out of wrestling at the time, and there wasn't a lot of fucking wrestlers that were breaking through. So three for me. It was going to be 2.5, but I think 3 because I think they could remake this fucking into a nice family movie again.
The formula would still
with
work.
some tweaks. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. Next week, we're going to be doing Suburban Commando and...
Holy shit, what was that other one?
Second one?
We did. And we all fucking brain farted on it.
We definitely had another one.
Let me see. Nope, not there.
Suburban
I have so many notes around my fucking office.
It was another horror movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
For sure.
Son of a bitch. I have no clue.
We'll figure it out. But we're Suburban Commando and another horror movie. I can't remember.
If we can't figure it out, we'll just review Suburban Commando twice.
That sounds like a plan.
We do it forward and then backward, like Memento.
Wow, I don't know.
How about if we start from back and then we go forward?
It's gonna bother me that we don't know what movie it is.
I know. I was just thinking. Like I remember last week it was like, "Yep, we're doing that." I don't know if it was something that just comes out or something that we wanted to talk about before and never got to.
Hellraiser.
There you go.
There you go. That's what it was.
So 2 80s classics. Well, 91 for Suburban Commando. We'll be doing that next
week. Do me a favor and just give yourself a fucking high five.
It's going to get weirder from here on out.
And I'm just going to tease it. We have news to share, but we're not ready. There's some changes coming to the show. Good, bad, ugly. It's going to be fun. We got some stuff going on. Yeah, so we'll talk about that soon. I think what we'll do is this week's or this month's live episode. We'll we don't have a live episode this month, do we? Because of July.
No, we don't.
Maybe what we'll do is if we can figure out the whole July 5th thing, maybe we'll film something that day as a kind of message to the audience of what's going on with the channel.
It won't be this month, but it'll be next month.
No, July 5th, because we're talking about trying to get
No,
together.
no, no. I'm saying, but I'm saying as far as live. If
Yeah,
we do
things.
maybe?
We're not having a live episode this
if
month.
we don't do a live,
we will have a July 4th episode though. We've got Patriot and Gangs of New York, I believe, is what we said we were doing for that. So that's just 2 excuses for me to watch 2 of my movies I love, and I'd love to break them down and do my Daniel Day-Lewis impressions and that sort of thing.
Are you going to hold a knife while you do it?
I take your milkshake.
Which those were filming 25th on the 25th.
Yeah, we're going to be filming those the last week. Now that week we won't.
Now
have
you're behind the scenes.
We won't have a brand new episode, but we will have. I think we do have an episode that you guys never seen, so it'll be brand new to you. So fuck off. All right, guys, we'll see you next week, and then stick with us. We got some fun stuff coming. Have a wonderful night, day, whatever.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. There you go.